Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to. This is my final speech, which the title is the greenhouse effect math. Uh, first I want to share you about Trump's comments. Last year on the 29th December, the President Trump sent out a tweet through his official tweet handle, which said this. You can see it. Perhaps we could use a little bit of what's good of global warming that our country, but not other countries, was going out to pay the trillions of dollars. Although sometimes I disagree with his language, but this opinion I agree with that. Not like most of his other tweets, the president came under fire, mainly from the climate change and the alarmist for what they termed preposterous statement. I don't think he's wrong. And the next is, please have a thinking that to keep asking yourself what is the right global temperatures. For my purpose, I wish to speak to you about why you should not concern with the greenhouse effect. My speech is entitled "The Greenhouse Effect Means." At the end of this speech, I hope I will not only have to turn you into the skeptics, but also trigger you into the challenge what you have heard as the truth about the greenhouse effect and the global warming. Meanwhile, I need you to keep asking yourself what is the right global temperature. So the first one I want to introduce you the Dr. Kevin Transverse language about global warming. According to Dr. Transverse, the debate about greenhouse gases causing the climate change through the global warming has become one of the most elicited debates of the 21st centuries. Greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and nitrogen dioxide have been labeled harmful as they are thought to cause global warming. Essentially, the proponents argue that these gases, once released into the atmosphere, tend to form a reflective blanket around the Earth, which prevents the sun's heat from bringing the reflected back into the atmosphere, causing increasing global temperature. Next, I want to introduce the effect. Highlights are not real, but centered on the zero. People are constantly worried about their carbon footprint and scared into the making the scarf fights in order to avert the looming disaster of the percentage global warming. Most people have been scared into believing this zero without any evidence, but primarily based on the word of a few experts. Just because a few scientists are supporting this zero does not make it real true. Realistic and the truth are not established via popular votes or number. Loud health sister and propaganda does not and can never make something true. Several critics who should know and know better, like John Kelvin of the Weather Channel, have often referred to the zero greenhouse gases effect, the biggest hacks of the century. Furthermore, I want to introduce the climate change is not due to the global warming. It's a natural process of evolution. I think it's one important point. And please think, is the Earth getting warmer? Again, the best answer is yes. The Earth is getting warmer, but and that had a good thing for two major reasons. First, the world just emerged from mini ice age that occurred in the 19th century, and therefore it would be bad news if the Earth was not getting warmer. Secondly, throughout the history, human beings have often thrived in a warm period that's colder, that's the cold one. It would then make sense that they would want the world getting the warmer and not colder. The last one I want to say that the human to blame for the high CO2 levels. I think this answer is obviously no. According to the Dr. Tranbe's book, Climate Gate, Brian Sussman, meteorologists calculate that human being the greenhouse use effect contribution is less than 1% of the global causes. It's clear that carbon dioxide does not affect global warming. This is because throughout much of the planetary history, there have never been any correlation between the CO2 concentrations in the atmosphere and the global warming. In fact, the only correlation even knows that is smoke in the atmosphere and concentration as a result of long stress of the strategy of global warming. Therefore, it would be grossly and inaccurate to then claim that CO2 causes global warming, since cause does not follow the effects. So, in conclusion, however, for argument's sake, let us assume the greenhouse effect is indeed real, that CO2 causes. What would it take to prevent CO2 emissions? What hands would make, and what would they cost? Well, on the United Nations estimated that that would cost the planet the 515 trillion, and throughout the 21st century, to put into the perspectives, 552 trillion is approximately the total global GDP and of an entire decade. Surely, here is no way such a project would make any sense. Economically or other advice. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot stress this enough. The greenhouse effect, as it's being sold to us, but it's mystical at the best and the insane at the worst. I hope I have persuaded you to discard it. Thank you so much.